we're looking at part of the reviewing room here in the Nutnfancy project. Never shown this before, but here's a quick glimpse. In that corner are about 25 soft rifle cases, mostly tactical variety, since many of the guns we test here have magazines and such. On some outings too, we take 20 rifles with us. At least that's the way it's been in the past, between crew and guests coming out, so they're used. And you know how I say we never have any more room here in TNP? This is what I'm talking about. That whole corner is taken up by those soft rifle cases. Few sleeping bags in the background there. No room. So when the manufacturers say, hey, we want to send you this, we want to send you that, we say, thanks, but no thanks here in TNP. No joke. Now, I'll just show you a few more things before we get to, I don't know, the heart of the matter here. You might think this room is, I don't know, totally tactical as far as the stuff I review. Actually, it's mostly boys' toys, my son's toys in storage waiting for their kids. There's a 1/6 scale Hasbro armored car. How cool is that? Excellent. Here's a reviewing table, all messy, not really ready for the review. I just started rolling the camera just for fun. Something different. It's interesting. There's a Marlin Papoose ready to roll into the review. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. And in this corner, you guys like this? A dehydrator. Bunch of Star Wars toys. Excellent. There's an AT-AT from years back. Some in-box Star Wars toys. This right here, believe it or not, is something I made for my boys. It is a 1/6 scale bunker for G.I. Joe. That's a gun turret I made him. I don't know if I've ever shown you that before. In dapple camouflage. So mostly in the reviewing room are my kids' toys. In storage because they don't play with them obviously anymore. But their kids will, and so we're taking care of them for them. Spinning around. There's some Jurassic Park toys in there. Oh, look at that sweet B-Wing in box. It's a 1/6 scale G.I. Joe motorcycle up there somewhere. Okay. You guys like this? A little something different here in TNP. And yes, finally getting to it. I'll be reviewing right now, right here, the Ruger 1022 Takedown. About time. And since we spent money on this, you're going to get a review on it. That's just the way it works. Let me get this camera ready to go here. Some housekeeping going on. We'll get to it. And literally, I just threw all this crap on the table and said, I'm just going to start the camera this time. Usually it's all perfect, ready to go here in TNP. I think you guys will like something different. So on the table are some review sheets from past reviews. What do we got here? Fixed blade, suppressor, bye-bye. These accessories we'll be talking about as the review goes along. They are applicable to the Takedown model. My talking notes, few, not many. And the reason there's not many is because here in TNP, I have talked a lot about the Ruger 1022. In 2009, I named it the Everyman's rifle. You should have at least one 1022 as a dude. As a family man, you should have that. It is an Everyman's rifle. This is basically, as you can tell, obviously, a takedown version of it. Now, there's lots of information out there, has been for quite some time on the Takedown. I don't know if I can really add that much new to the discourse, but I will share with you the data, as you can see on the table right here, like accuracy, reliability. I think I do have some new things to say about that. There's Allie's hair. You may have seen that roller. That's what that's for. Good job, girlfriend. So, first off, 2013, they are making two models of Takedown Ruger 1022. One is the one you see in front of you, albeit Duracoated by myself in Magpul Flat Dark Earth. Love that coloration. It came as a stainless steel and black 1022 Takedown. The catalog number on that, last time I checked, is K1022TD. Stainless steel, non-threaded. We'll talk about that in accessories, that flash hider I have on it. They also make a blued steel threaded model, and it is 1022. T is in Tango, D is in Delta, T is in Tango. Military speak again. Which one should I get, Nutnfancy? Well, my suspicion is if you're watching this, you already have one. That's right. Lots of TNPers who watch my videos love me to review what they already have, just to see, I don't know, what my data is, if I really dig it or if I hate it. And sometimes I do hate it. You know how I roll here. Very brutally honest is how it goes. Back to the models, though, I would say get either one you can. If you want to run a suppressor on it, we're kind of jumping a little bit ahead to philosophy of use. Get the threaded one, but it's blued steel. I really like the stainless that Ruger puts together. I like the, more rust resistance. I don't like the coloration, obviously. It's too bright for me, at least in my application. There we go. We'll talk about all the accessories. I know you guys were wondering a little bit about that. And this actually will be a good video for that, because it is an update on how I modify my 1022s. And I do all these modifications to basically every 1022 in the TNP inventory. Until we sell it, of course. Get whichever one. I would probably lean towards getting a threaded model. There you go. It gives me more options. And let's just go ahead and do it. Jump right into philosophy of use. How about this? BOK gun. Now, that's an acronym I've been talking about for years here in the Nutnfancy project. It stands for Bug Out Kit Gun. A survival kit that you can sustain yourself for a period of time, that you roll out of your homestead. You have to. I always recommend you stay there if you possibly can. But if you can't, this is a good gun to integrate. The question is it the best gun? I think when the Takedown model came out, people were really stoked and they said, hey, man, finally a Takedown 1022. It's going to be so much lighter. You got to have that bolt open, by the way, when you put it together. It's going to be so much lighter, and probably going to screw this up. There we go. So much more awesome than the 1022. It is awesome, but I am not super stoked on the weight. It is slightly lighter in the way I see things than a regular 1022. We might as well say it now. 4 pounds 10 ounces naked, a Ruger 1022 Takedown. The way you see it outfitted right there with a 2x7 rimfire scope from Weaver, outstanding, highly recommended. With the magazine and the accessory rail, it is 5 pounds 14 ounces as configured right here. Naked, again, 4 pounds 10. If you take this magazine out, it's going to be 5 pounds 7 ounces. Now, you already saw it. You know what's coming, and here it is. Mr. Marlin Papoose. Come on down. These two rifles, in my estimation, are some of the best bug-out kit rifles known to mankind as of yet. I am a big fan of the 22 long rifle for your bug-out kit, your survival kit, wherever you're integrating that system. Why 22? Well, I've talked a lot about this, but I'll summarize it by saying, because it's lightweight, that's why. You can carry more 22 long rifle than you can any other cartridge, just about. A close second might be 17 HMR, but it's heavier still. 22 Magnums, much heavier when you look at ounces, and I always look at ounces because they become pounds if you don't. So 22 is my first choice for bug-out kit rifle. This one, by the way, is Duracoated in Black Hawk Coyote Tan. Again, if you're interested, this is Magpul Flat Dark Earth. I've shown those two colorations a lot. You can Cerakote it if you want. Duracoat, I've just been so happy with Duracoat, I stick with it. This is a great gun. That is a great gun. And they each have advantages over the other. They're both currently very difficult to find, especially this one. And I think the not the history, but the future of Marlin, I can't speak, Marlin is a little bit uncertain right now in 2013. A little bit. I hope they always produce the Marlin Papoose 70 PSS. It beats the Ruger 1022 in terms of weight, and it does so handily. Naked, it's only 3 pounds 5 ounces. This is a rifle I reviewed in 2009. An in-field review. Really, I need to kind of redo that, update it. The way you see it configured here, and that is a 4-power Weaver 4-power Weaver rimfire scope with a magazine and the sling, 4 pounds, 3 ounces. So it spanks the Ruger 1022 Takedown in terms of weight, and actually about the same in overall size. When you break the two guns in half, they're about the same. Both are outstanding bug-out kit guns. I think the Marlin, if, there's a big if, the old firepower versus mobility equation, that the way you see it, the 10-round magazine is enough for you. The Ruger 1022 Takedown has a 25-rounder, and that is a huge plus. Huge plus. And as we progress here in POU, you'll see some other advantages the Ruger has. But if weight is really super critical and I determine I need a rifle, a pistol will not suffice, for me, the Papoose will win. There you go. Just saying. Great bug-out kit rifle, though, if you can take the weight. And I've added weight by adding a scope. You could use the awesome tech sights and really lighten the load, or just use the iron sights as they come, and you'll be a lot lighter. But as I see it, it's not hugely lighter than a regular gun. How about an all-arounder? This might be a better, I don't know, way to look at the 1022. You don't have a Ruger 1022 yet. By the way, where have you been? You should have at least 5, says the Nutnfancy Project. Seriously, such an awesome gun. Some notes to myself. I gotta call Glenn Eberly, apparently. I will email him. All-arounder. You don't have one? Hey, Nutnfancy, should I get a Takedown versus a normal 1022? I say yeah. You don't give up anything, really. Well, you do give up a few things, like the ability to interchange a new barrel. But you gain a lot, too. A shorter overall length, slightly lighter weight. It's a great all-arounder. And when I say all-arounder, I'm talking a recreational gun, a training gun, either for your kids, yourself, you're practicing, like that. And maybe a defensive gun. Now, I'm not a big fan of 22 long rifle defensively. I know I talked about it in BOK. However, I'd rather have it shot out of a rifle than a pistol. Higher velocity, more lethal, and yes, it's killed lots of bad guys before. And unfortunately, good guys as well. Here's a new POU. I gotta scream through this stuff. Never said it before, but I've been doing a lot of biking lately. Totally loving it. Motorcycle rifle. How's that? Now, this Ruger 1022 Takedown comes with a killer backpack, or storage case as I like to think of it. Has some molly on the back. It stores 3 magazines, the gun, even the scoped rifle comes with it. It's a great option. It's included with the gun. You could just strap that on your back, your cargo rack on the back of your bike. Off you go. And for that matter, great vehicle, airplane rifle as well. And of course, my favorite POU, gift. That's if you can find it. These are hard to find right now. On to design, materials, and quality. And I will again reference you to my Everyman's Rifle series posted in 2009, where I pretty much go in detail about the Ruger 1022. There's really no differences with this rifle, other than the fact that you can take it and break it in half. Not break it, but you get my drift. Take it down. Perfect. I do like the stainless rifle, however, in my application philosophy of use, too bright, and you saw my answer right there. I gain a lot when I Duracoat the gun. It breaks up the gun's outline. It doesn't look like a gun anymore. If I have to drop it on the ground and hide it, it will blend in so much more easily than it did as it came from the factory, and that is in bright stainless steel and a synthetic nylon stock. Much better. The quality and the materials that Ruger uses are outstanding. Investment cast parts, good springs, all the other stuff I talked about in Everyman's Rifle, no change. Weight balance and feel, just like a regular 1022, really. Once you get this sucker put together, you can't really tell a difference. The length of pull, jumping ahead to ergos, is 13.5 inches, which, if we talk about an all-arounder, that might be a little bit lengthy for your kids. Or some small-statured females, if you're shooting with those. You might want to go with a 1022 compact if you're sticking with the Ruger lineup. But the feel is excellent. It feels like a regular 1022. How about ergonomics? I think back in 2009 I raved about the synthetic stock that Ruger does, and I will say the same thing here. I like the checkering on it. I like the traditional pistol grip. It provides excellent traction even after I've coated it like this. Sometimes when you coat it, it will lose traction. You don't sand this portion right here. You just degrease it and spray it. There you go, right here. It's a regular synthetic 1022 stock. Maybe a downside though, if you go with this as your all-arounder choice, you don't have a lot of stock options. Not as of yet. Maybe some aftermarket guys will come along and do some TD stocks. I don't know. The upside is that I really like it a lot. Comes with an extended paddle for the magazine release. You don't have to exchange that. And as you've been noticing, I've modified this gun. But first, let's back up a little bit and talk about the stock 1022 trigger. It's the same on all models. It actually is a little bit improved. And no, this isn't it, but I'm referencing it. It's okay. I could live with it. But when it comes to 1022s, over the decades, I have become a trigger snob. Maybe not snob, because I don't go for like the really expensive triggers. The one this gun is wearing right now is a Clark Custom for around $65, and it pulls at 4 pounds, and it is outstanding. Very easy to install. Available at Brownells. The Clark Custom trigger, recommended. I could live with a stock trigger, but I just don't want to. It's kind of mushy. It doesn't have a really clean break, and it pulls, I forget, I don't know, around 6 pounds or something like that. I totally forget. And most of the testing, by the way, was done with that trigger, the stock trigger, if I remember right. Ergonomics, though. Safety, no big deal there. The takedown is easy. It's repeatable. You don't lose 0, as you can see, in accuracy. Now, I didn't like take it apart multiple times and then put it back together multiple times and see, hey, did I get like an 1/8 of an inch zero shift? I'm sure there's some data out there if you want to see it. I don't know. It seems like it's shot just like any other 1022 I've ever shot. This is a locking receiver knurled nut, so it will take the play out of the barrel. I really like that feature. This one right here. It is outstanding. So you can get a really tight lockup. Anytime you have a takedown rifle, you want it to be solid. You want it to feel, again, just like its full size, I should say, its non-takedown counterpart. And another advantage the 1022 has over the Papoose is that it's toolless. To really tighten that barrel nut down on the Papoose, I need the spanner wrench. Not so with the Ruger 1022. Advantage Ruger. Great barrel profile on that. Just like you see on all of them. Big, thick at the chamber end, tapering down. Again, non-threaded variety. The sights are as we've always shot with the Ruger 1022. Fold down. Left that one on this model. Charging handle. We're talking ergo still. It's okay. This one, I have to jump ahead. This is called a Forces charging handle. I've used Power Custom before. About 25 bucks. Look how much area that gives you. I do an offside reach over, kind of like I do on a Mini 14, M1A, M14, AK variant rifle. There's a good trainer for that, by the way. There you go. Ergos rock. And that will take us to reliability and durability. I will tell you, I was a little bit surprised that this gun, this particular gun, had quite a few stoppages with bulk Winchester ammo. It did. Now, it was cold, probably around 20 degrees Fahrenheit, but we had a lot of stoppages. And no, you can't attribute it to any of the modifications. I can't remember if I had that extended charging handle on it, the Forces one. I probably did, but this doesn't affect it. As long as you have a high velocity 22 load, it's transparent to the gun as far as operation goes. So a few stoppages, maybe a lot to begin with. One of it was this magazine, the Tactical Innovations, which is actually a good magazine. It's a TI-25. I don't like its adjustment feature. It's kind of a pain because you'll adjust these screws so it doesn't rotate or tilt, and that's a hassle. It's a project in and of itself because then you got to test the gun. I much prefer Ruger's BX25. We're kind of jumping ahead to firepower here. Because there's no adjustment. It's factory made. You put it in, it locks in good, bang, done. No project. I did put a BX25 in and use some different ammo, and it got better. With Ely Prime, which is a match ammunition, that's not a high velocity ammo, there were lots of jams on that. It was basically a single shot rifle with that. You need to shoot high velocity and expect jams with bulk. This seemed like it jammed more than non-takedown, but every gun's an individual. When I ran CCI, it was almost 100%. There's a couple other magazines, Eagle Creek, old one, Steel Lips. Another BX25 uncoated. I think reliability, once you get it squared away using ammo that likes, will be as good as any other 22 rifle. We're still shooting rimfire. Generally, you're going to have some problems there, here and there. Durability will be outstanding. You won't be able to wear it out, says I. And that takes us to accuracy. Well, you've been looking at it on the table right here. Check it. This is a Ruger 1022 Takedown, shooting it at 43 yards with some alley hair right there. This was in December. Yeah, I told you I'd get around to this review. Look at how it shot that Ely Prime though, dudes. That freaking rocks. 43 yards in the desert off a wiggly polymer bench. Yeah, I'll take that. There's a one-hole group there. And that's with me shooting it. You guys could probably do a lot better. I think that was with a stock trigger as well. I don't think I'd put the Clark Custom. I honestly don't remember. Sorry. Then we got a 45-yard group of the Ruger Takedown. 1022 Takedown. 45 yards. This is the same month. That's a nice group. CCI Mini Mags. Like I said, that was almost completely reliable with that. That's such a great, consistent rimfire load if you can find it. I think they're even hard to find these days. 45 yards. That's good. Now, some guys, you know, accuracy snobs will go, well, that's not nearly good enough. That's good enough for me, especially for a rifle you can break in half. How about we take it out to 100 yards? Check that. CCI Mini Mags, opening up a bit. I think I was shooting at night. I can't remember. There was a lot of night shooting we did. That's a nice group. 400-yard takedown rifle. That one, not so much. It opened up there. Opened up there. That's shooting with a scope. Probably had it on 7 power for that. I would say the accuracy on the Ruger 1022 Takedown, having shot a lot of rimfire rifles here in the Nutnfancy project and before, is excellent, not outstanding. What? It's outstanding, Nutn. That's excellent. Outstanding is one hole, like a, I don't know, a CZ452. That's outstanding. So let's keep it real. Let's not get lost as we go down the road of review here. It's good. Excellent, I would say. And you can improve it with practice and using the right ammunition that your particular gun would like. Field strip. Hey dudes, I spent a lot of time on it in 2009. Go back and reference that video. I'm not doing it here. Take the gun in half, apart, undo this screw. You can take your barrel band off. It's really easy. Taking down 1022s is a snap. I love the takedown. Field strip is easy. Upgrading the parts is easy for a Ruger 1022, and that will take us to, you guessed it, accessories. This is where the Ruger 1022 just dominates all comers, including my beloved Marlin 70 PSS. You can change a lot of things on this rifle, and let me go over again the things we've done to this one in the Nutnfancy project. Clark Custom trigger. Love it. Cost effective too. I mean, it's not like a Timney or Volquart's an option that's $200. I'm talking like the whole trigger group. It's just a trigger, just the parts. You'll use the regular trigger face, and it has the important parts in there to give you a really nice 4 to 4.5 pound pull. Nothing I need to do with the safety. I did put an auto bolt release in it. I think this is a Volquart's part right here. And you guys are probably familiar with it. If you're not, usually a 1022, when you lock it open like that, you have to retract the bolt, hit your release, and then go like that. If you do an auto bolt release, all you have to do is when you slam a new mag in, release. You just pull it back, release. You don't have to interface with your bolt release. Highly recommended. That part for Volquart's, I think, was only about 15, 18 bucks. There's other brands you can do, and also you can modify your own. There's videos out there and information if you want to do that. You really want to save some money. You can modify the stock Ruger bolt release. Have that done. Obviously, I Duracoated it for the reasons we've talked about. There's that Weaver scope. It really is an ideal option for this. If you want to save some weight, you might go with just a 4 power, but this one is a Weaver specifically meant for rimfire, 2x7 power, and it is cost effective and super light. This sucker is really bright. It's a duplex reticle. No, you don't need a special tactical reticle. You don't, especially for a 1022. Goes up to 7 power, and those are, I think, Leupold Rifleman rings. Those are aluminum. They're very low. Look how low that is for cheek weld. Gun comes with a Picatinny rail. Actually, not a pick rail, it's a Weaver rail. Works great. And then on the muzzle, just for looks and honestly intimidation factor, if I needed to aim this at a bad guy threatening our lives, a flash hider. That is a John Mason brand flash hider for 14 bucks, available at Brownells. Oh yeah, I had those. Let me show you the catalog numbers on it. Here's one in package. Here's your catalog number. That way I don't have to waste time annotating it. Here's your Volquartsen auto bolt release. I forget where I got this one, right here. We buy everything. We don't get it for free. I don't want it. And this is the accessory rail you see on there. And the main reason we have that on here is for shooting at night. So now you can put your tactical light on there. Heck, put whatever light that will fit on it. This is worthwhile. I didn't Duracoat it yet, maybe later. Lightweight, it's made of really hard nylon. It's by Superior Concepts. And it's about 22 bucks is all. Highly recommended. For your, not just takedown, but any Ruger 1022. Work great. And here is the Force charging handle with the Brownells catalog number. Highly recommended. Stainless steel, super quality. Doesn't affect function at all as far as negatively. And then I have a urethane bolt buffer. It goes back in the receiver here so you're not slamming. Those are so inexpensive. They're like, I don't know, $3 at a gun show. I just bought a bunch of them, keep them in a bag. There you go. Accessories. One thing you're not going to be able to do on your takedown, dudes, and you need to know this, is at least now barrel change outs. So you know how on our other models, things I've talked about, you can put the Tactical Solutions barrels on. You're pretty much stuck with this one, which means you're stuck with the weight and actually the reliability, because nothing is going to be as reliable as the factory barrel with a 1022. That's been my experience. I'm not going to say that any of the other barrels out there are not great. I've had great reliability, but the most reliable has always been the factory barrel. However, as of yet, you can't swap it out with a bull barrel. Now, maybe Taxol will come out with a takedown 1022 barrel, which is super light with a steel sleeve in it, a tension barrel. That would be actually pretty sick. I would love to see that, because then this high firepower 1022 would compete weight-wise with this, the Marlin Papoose. Now, some guys, every time I talk about 22 pack rifles, they're like, dude, how about the AR7? I've never had a good experience with the AR7. They've always been pieces of crap. They're not reliable. They have a 7-round magazine. No, I don't recommend them at all. That's all I'm going to say on accessories. There's lots of other stuff that you can do with the trigger. Not so much the stock. We talked about that. How about value? Well, I'm just going to go by retail, guys. That's all I can do right now because things are such in flux. Hopefully you got your takedown already. But on the stainless steel non-threaded version, 2013 prices were $400 retail. And then for the threaded blued barrel one, which by the way has that goofy Ruger flash suppressor on there. I hate that thing. I'd put something else on it. That retails for $420. So snapshot in time, that's what they were going for. Totally worth it though. They are going to be more than a Ruger 1022. They're going to be more than a Marlin Papoose. But it really is a can-do everything gun when it comes to a 22 rifle. Maybe not everything. I mean, like small kids, you might want to have them shoot something smaller. Shorter length of pull to begin with. Great value though. And there aren't a lot of guns at that price level that will meet its quality, durability, and accuracy. I still love the Marlin Papoose. Always will. The only thing this thing lacks is a higher rounds count for the magazine. I'm still waiting for it. Someone's got to come out with a magazine for the Marlin Papoose. 15 rounds at least. I don't care if it sticks down there. Dude, come on now.
Doing good.
I'm all for it. Great track record with the 1022s. I mean, what can I say? They've been around forever. Millions sold. Continues to fly off the shelf. So does this gun, the Ruger 1022 Takedown. I mean, honestly, it is a total win from Ruger. That is the Nutnfancy review. Now I gotta go clean this place up. See ya!
That was with bulk ammo too.
That Winchester Super X.
Yeah, so it's doing good.
squared away.
That's really squared away in the middle there.
That's 6 rounds. That's 5. These are the first shots the gun's ever done. First shots. 43 yards, 20 degrees, Ruger 1022 takedown. With a power custom extended bolt knob. Stock trigger. Everything else is stock. Except that John Masen Flash Hider.
Looks cooler.